If anyone owns a dress from Oh Polly, can you tell me how to fit in it, please? I'm like one of the smallest people, and I've currently got a size 8 dress on, and it's like this is the dress, I'm in the middle, and then, you know. Hi everyone, welcome back. So in today's video I've gone for a smoky eye, but this time it's more towards the sort of grunge side. There is a nice pop of glitter in the centre of the eye. It's a perfect look for if you're going on, I don't know, like a date night, or for when the pubs finally reopen and things like that. I do think it is a really beautiful look, so if you guys are interested, then let's jump straight on to today's video. So I am looking slightly different from the last clip, but that's fine, we move. I'm gonna jump straight onto the eyes, and I'm using the Beauty Bay Nude 42 colour eyeshadow palette. This palette is such a mouthful, honestly. So it just looks a little bit like this. So I'm gonna be picking up a pencil brush, and then I'm gonna dip into the shade Warm and Cozy. And then I'm gonna start on the inner corner of my eye and just push that product onto the lid. And then I'm going to start to feather it up ever so slightly, just with whatever product's remaining on the brush, just up towards the brow. And then I'm going to do the same thing just on the outer corner. So again, just pushing that product in and then ever so slightly feathering it up into the crease. And then I'm going to take a small fluffy brush and just dip into the shade Vanilla Latte. And then with a light hand, I'm basically going to blend out everything that's in the crease, but I'm going to keep the centre just there. I'm going to go back in with that same pencil brush and pick up the shade Maple Syrup. Maple Syrup? I don't know why I said it like that. And I'm going to go over the first shade that we laid down, but I'm not going to take it all the way out, and I'm not going to bring it all the way into the inner corner. I'm focusing it just on the edges. And then I'm just going to take any clean blending brush just so I can make sure all the colours are blended out and nothing's looking muddy. And then I'm going to pick up the shade After Dark, which is this shade here, and I'm just going to deepen up sort of like the very inner corner and the very outer corner, just so we can get a little bit more dimension. I just want to add a bit more warmth to like the upper crease area. So I'm going to take a Morphe M433 and dip it into the shade Bare Necessity, and then ever so slightly I'm going to run this along the upper crease. So I'm going to go in with this gel eyeliner. It's a Glam Crystals liner from Collection. It's in the shade Funk, and I'm going to pop this just in the centre where it's bare, and I'm also going to bring it quite high up. And then with whatever product's remaining on the brush, I'm going to start to feather it out ever so slightly into the inner and outer corner, and then that way it doesn't look like it's just like a block of glitter. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer, and I'm just going to use my finger to tap it over that liner that we've placed down. Oh my god, I finally took my acrylics off. They've been on for 7 weeks. If you watched my last video, Jesus Christ, they were so grown out. It looked so gross. So I'm going to take this palette from Revolution. It's just got a lot of their pressed glitters into it, and I'm going to mix the shades Magnificent and Lavish, and I'm just going to take these on my finger and then press them over where I put that glitter primer. And then so that the edges don't look as harsh, I'm just going to ever so slightly blend those edges out. So I'm going to pop on some liner. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Dual Eyeliner. I'm only going to put a thin line along the lash line. I'm not going to wing it out or anything like that. This is just so that when we put the lashes on, it hides the band. And then using the pencil side, I'm going to tightline and fill in my waterline. So for lashes, I'm going to be using the Eyelash Cosmetics lashes in the style Cocoa. I'm going to pop these on with a little bit of Duo lash glue, and then I'll be back. So time for skin. So I'm going to prime the skin using the Jecca Blacc Glow Drops. These are in the shade Rose Pearl. The reason I'm using something quite sort of glowy today, even though I have oily skin, I say it in every single video, is because I just want the face to be really like luminous, seeing as though we have got glitter on the eyes. So I'm just going to apply this all over my skin. And then for foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match in the shade 1.5N Linen. For cream contouring, I'm going to use the Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick in the shade F10. I'm going to pop this in all the places I'd usually contour, and then blend it out with a fluffy brush. So I'm going to conceal and highlight the face I'm going to conceal and highlight the face, and I'm going to mix together the PLouise Base in the shade Rumor 1 and then the Revolution Fast Based. What is wrong with me today? And then the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C1. This has a ton of coverage, whereas this is quite light, so it'll help with highlighting. I know some of you are probably thinking, why is she concealing and highlighting with an eye primer? But PLouise actually uses that herself underneath her eyes just because it gives such a nice brightening effect. And it is also like a multi-use product as well. As always, I'm going to use the Mercier translucent powder just to set underneath the eyes. I'm also going to pop that everywhere else that I highlighted and concealed. And then I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder just so I can set the rest of the face. For bronzer today, I'm going to use the Nars Laguna bronzer and then a small angled brush. And I'm going to pop this everywhere that I cream contoured. And I'm just going to set that in place and then help sort of deepen it a little bit as well. I'm also going to go down the sides of my nose with this just to help add a little bit of definition and colour. I'm going to pop on a little bit of highlight before I do blush, and this is the Skinny Dip Highlight of My Life palette. This highlighting palette is unreal, so the colours are absolutely blinding, and you also get 4 different shades in there as well. So I'm going to mix the shades Off the Planet and Live in the Highlight. I'm going to mix those together and then pop them on at the high points of my face. Like, can you see that? Oh my god. And then I'm also going to take this down the centre of the nose and then a little bit on the chin as well. Just going to drown my entire body in highlighter and then wonder why I look like Tin Man. For blush today, I want a nice little pinky shade, like a pinky pop of colour. So I'm going to use the Revolution Blusher Reloaded in the shade Rhubarb and Custard. Okay then. I'm going to sandwich this between the bronzer and the highlight, and then just bring it around the temples and put a little bit just above the brow. So we're going to finish off underneath the lower lash line. So we're going to go straight back into that same palette we were using earlier, and we're basically going to mimic what we've already done but on the lower lash line. So I'm going back in with the pencil brush that we were using earlier, and I'm going to dip into the shade Warm and Cozy, and I'm going to run this on the lower lash line but keeping the centre bare. And then with an even, I can't talk, why can't I talk? With an even smaller pencil brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Maple Syrup and then bring that down a little bit lower. And this is going to make the lower lash line look really smoky. And then just with a clean blending brush, I'm just going to blend that all out. I'm not going to be using any glitter pigment on the lower lash line just because I feel like it'll fall over the entire face. So I'm just going to go... I'm just going to go straight back in with this glitter eyeliner and then just focus it directly in the centre. And then again, just like we did with the glitter on top, we're going to feather this out a little bit just into those shadows. So I'm going to quickly throw on some lower lash mascara and then I'll be back to do the lips. So for lips today, I'm going to use the PLouise, I say that like I've never used this lip liner. This is from the PLouise Boarding Pass collection and it's her lip liner. So I'm going to be lining the lips with this. And then I'm going to be filling them in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood lips in the shade Best Actress. So this is one of their liquid lipsticks and it's just like a nice sort of mauve toned brown. And then I'm going to be topping them off with the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. And then after lips, this is the finished result. You can of course change out the lip to like whatever colour that you're wanting and maybe even put like a different glitter on the eyes. But yeah, I really like how this look turned out. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe because it really helps me out, and I'll see you in my next video.